What's up, everyone? So my name is Eric Nickerson, and this is the first official video of Busted and Boosted. The last two videos I posted were actually from my vlog before, but I decided to actually create a specific car channel for when I'm working on my car. This is my Nissan 240SX project. The end goal is to be drifting it, but I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. It just got running good. It's currently NA, so but that's only for a little bit longer. I actually have my turbo stuff right here, so I'll be installing a turbo soon, probably in a few weeks, once I get a day to do that. But today I'm actually going to be taking care of a few things that I want to get done before I turbo it. I want to relocate the battery and remove the battery tray. So that's my goal for today. Obviously, I'm no professional by any means. I really just watch videos and look online to see what people's suggestions are, and I just go from there. All right, so let's get started. So my goal is to place it here. That's just where I see most people put it. And then I'm just gonna run the battery cable to the front and tuck it as much as I can. I know my trunk is a mess with all this rust spots and everything. That's a project for another day. That's probably gonna be my next big thing I do to this car, is just clean up the interior. Alright, so here's what I have for the battery relocation. First off, I got a battery box. You can get this from Walmart. It's like $9, and it's a Group 24 box. And then I have 15 foot of 2-gauge wire, and it's actually welding cable. I saw a few posts and a couple videos. People recommend using welding cable. It just carries the current better, I guess, is what they're saying. I got these copper ends here to put on the end of the cables. I've got this here. It's basically just a braided cover. I'm not actually sure if this one will fit around the cable. I think it will. And it's really just to add some extra protection when it's when it's rubbing. If it rubs on anything, hopefully this will protect it for the most part, instead of it rubbing on the cable itself. And then heat shrink, of course. So that's all I have for the battery relocation. I am missing the battery terminals, so once I get everything ran, I think I'll just go up to the store and grab some. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run this cable to the front and see if it's long enough. I'm hoping it is. But I see most people use like 20 feet just in case, and I think they have to cut some off. So I'm hoping this 15-foot cable is going to be long enough to get it to where I want it to. So let's go ahead and run it.
Hey, what's up, man? Pretty good. Just out. Have a good one, man.
All right. So Amazon actually came at a perfect time. I was waiting on one more piece for this, and I forgot to mention it. Alright, let's go ahead and open up this package. So this is just a little junction box. I forgot what size this was, but it's just a small one. And what I'm actually going to use this for is up front, when I connected the battery terminal up front, or the battery cable up front to this one. I'm just going to drill a hole on each side and put it in there and connect them in here so that they're protected. And just sitting in an enclosed box rather than just sitting in the under the hood. That was really the cheapest and the only way I could think of connecting them in a protected way. You'll see some other products for this, but those were like 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks. And this was only like $8. So I figured I'll try this out, as well as it'll fit the accessory end on it. I'll show you guys what I mean later on, but this is big enough to fit everything in there that I need. So before I actually run the cable, I actually want to put this sleeve on there so I don't have to worry about it after. So if you guys haven't used one of these before, really if you just push it in, it kind of widens. So that's how you'll kind of get it going. So let me get it started here. Yeah, and you'll see, let me push it on and it just slides. It'll start sliding on. So, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. Alright, now that that's done, the end's kind of frayed there, but I'm not worried about it, and I'll show you why later on. But that's what it looks like. It's all in the protective cover there. Hopefully this helps out, stops anything from rubbing through. Now I'm going to go ahead and run it. Alright, so I finished running it. As you can see, it's just long enough. Battery's going to sit in this area right over here. This is the end of it. There. And then this is going to be zip tied up there and just running down on the inside. I'm going to have it running right here under this, and then it's actually going up and through that grommet there where the ECU wiring goes through into the engine bay. And then I have it coming out here, and it's just ran down and tucked under here for now, and it reaches right here. So there's just enough, probably get 20 foot if you were to do it, just in case. I guess 15 foot works, but if there's any mistakes, then I may not have enough. Alright, now that the cable's ran and we know it's long enough, I'm going to go ahead and see if this battery box will fit. And if it fits where I want it to, I'm going to drill a couple holes through the bottom so that I can actually bolt this down into the trunk so this doesn't go sliding around as well. So I mounted the battery box there instead of there because, as you could probably see from the video, I was having trouble actually fitting it in here without it sitting on this or being in the way of my taillights here. This one here. So I didn't want it there, and I did rotate it and it would have kind of fit, except I was actually worried about the fuel tank getting hit. A lot of people say that spot right here will just miss the fuel tank, and then obviously the fuel tank sits in this area, so I didn't want to risk that. So I moved it here because it's still easy to get to when I open the trunk, and there weren't any bolts or anything in the way. It's pretty sturdy. It's a little wobbly, but it'll hold the battery. I screwed them in. This one, when I was drilling the hole through the car, it didn't seem to want to go all the way through, so I said screw it. I have 3 already. It seems to be holding it pretty well. When I did drill these holes, I was able to see all the way through to the ground, so I know I at least didn't hit the fuel tank, so that's nice. My only concern using these screws is that they stick up some. I'm worried about them, like the battery shaking and it rubbing through. That's the last thing we wanted to happen, is to put a hole in the battery. So what I'm actually going to do is before I put the battery in, I'll find something, a padding or something to put in here to protect the battery from these screws. Alright, so this is what I was able to come up with. I've got three holes. The new wire is going to go in through the side. The old wire that's going to the starter and going through the bottom here. What powers all the accessories is actually just going to kind of sit through here like this. However I can get it in there. And then these will plug in. And then I'll just screw them all together on one bolt. And that's just how we'll do it. That was the best thing I can come up with now. For now, I got an extra one of these boxes, so I may find a better solution, but for now, that's what we're gonna go with. So all you gotta do is just get that out. I'll put the ends on these, which I actually have to do inside this box because the ends are too big to fit through the holes here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these through and get the ends on them. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this one here. I'm gonna cut off some of this extra cover here. I don't need it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta take some of this rubber coating off. So I'm just going to score it all the way around very lightly so you don't cut through the wire. Once you can see that it's broken through all the way around. Alright, once it's broken through all the way around, you can either pull it off, or one easy way is to just cut down the end. It'll loosen it up and you can just pull it out. Alright, this heat shrink is actually large enough to slide over the whole thing, so I'll probably put the heat shrink on after. But you want to check that to make sure it can fit, because if it doesn't fit and you put the end on, then you can't get any heat shrink on it. Looks like I cut a little too much of the rubber off, so let me see if I can cut some of this wire. And then these are the best things I've got for this right now. I can't find my other stuff, so once you got the sleeve on there, you're just gonna see if you can scrunch it down. Alright, so I couldn't find the rest of my tools for this, so I just smacked it with a hammer and it flattened it out, and now it's nice and tight. So do what you gotta do with the tools you got. So I'll just use some electrical tape to hold down these frayed ends a little bit, and then I'm gonna just slide the heat shrink over it, and then let me get my heat gun. Alright. So I don't have a long enough extension cord to use my heat gun out here. So if you just have a lighter, you can use that as well. The wind's killing it though. Alright, that's a little bit better. But yep, that's one in there. So now I just gotta do this end, and we'll be done. We'll be ready to put it all together. Alright, so this is what I have here. I've got the starter, the wire going to the starter here, the wire going back to the battery here, and the accessories. I put them all in there the best I can. That was the best I could do with the accessories. And then I just stuck a bolt through it and tightened it down. So what's nice about this, I've seen some people just use a bolt and tighten it down, and then it's just sitting in the engine bay and they just tape it up. That's why I got this box. I just really didn't want that being exposed or possibly making contact with something. So now all I gotta do is just put this lid on, whichever way it goes. Alright, so now that's where everything's sitting in there. I feel like it's pretty protected. I still have room to move it. If I want to move it somewhere, I can. But I'm just going to keep it there for now. I don't have the terminal yet for the battery for the back. So I won't be able to do that just yet. But one last thing I can actually do is take this ground wire and just move it to the back so that I can get my ground hooked up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and find out where this is bolted down, and then I'm gonna move this to the back. All right, so I was looking for spots to ground this wire, and this is the best place I could find. So I took some sandpaper and cleaned it up. This bolt fit right in there. And all you gotta do is just tighten it down, and then it'll reach to the negative terminal, which is going to be on that side. So when you're doing this, just think about which way your battery is going to be facing, so you know which side the posts are going to be on. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down, and we'll be good. Alright, so that's it for today. I didn't get to as much as I wanted to. There's the battery in there in the battery box with the lid on. I don't know if I'm going to keep the lid on or not. Still got to finish this end, but I don't have time today. I'll probably pick up the part today, but I don't have time to actually finish it. And then this is what it looks like up front. This is where all the power's connecting, right in there. So now I no longer have to worry about a battery sitting in here. I really wanted to get to taking the battery tray out, but I know that's actually a pretty hard task, depending on if you have the right tools or not, obviously. And I don't think I have the right tools, so it's going to take a while, and I don't have time for that today. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow along, just hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything, and go ahead and like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.